I was heading home after work. The second to last car of the train was held in the extreme balance of the evening rush. Voices and track noise canceled into no sound. Warm bodies and vented air into no temperature. Close personal smells and the rigorous city clean into no smell. An exaltation of balance. It was very impressive, and I remembered to be very impressed. The doors opened, people were exchanged for other people, the chime chimed, the doors closed. Bracing for the push-off, I surveyed the new people for women, women for faces and bodies, fingers for rings. The train pushed off. 4 were entirely out of the question. 2 I could persuade myself without too much trouble, and 1 made trouble unnecessary. She stood about 3 feet away in sunglasses with perfectly round lenses. I felt responsible for saying something, and I worked on something to say. Excuse me, but I couldn't help but noticing your glasses are perfectly round. Excuse me, but I've never seen anyone so beautiful in such round glasses. Excuse me, but I was wondering if I could try on your glasses. Excuse me, but I was wondering where you got your glasses. I used to have a pair just like them. I swallowed and moved closer. She had turned away a quarter turn. My heart beat in my stomach. My nerves quivered my bowels. I opened my mouth. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for the interruption, but we are out here selling candy today, not for no field trip, not for no basketball team, but to put some money in our pocket and stay out of trouble. We have Snickers, M&Ms, and M&M Peanut. Thank you for your time and have a nice day. 2 boys pushed through the car with candy boxes. The general announcement gave way to individual hustles in which the boys were strikingly confident and at ease. I counted 4 sales just where I could see. I began multiplying the dollars by the cars, by the trains, and not being very good at math or business, became so preoccupied that I almost didn't hear when the girl with the round glasses asked me, "Have you ever bought candy on the train before?" I was not prepared for this and needed to collect myself. "I'm sorry? Have you ever bought candy on the train?" I noticed beneath the dark brown lenses the outlines of what appeared to be 2 normal eyes. "No, I don't really like candy very much." "What?" I began to sweat. "I mean, of course I like candy. I'm just not sure that I like that candy." I realized a half-second too late that I may have sounded like a racist. She picked up on that candy? Well, not specifically that candy, but, you know, I don't know, it's like on Halloween when you were a kid, you know, with the razors and the apples. She put on a look of concern, and if it wasn't real, it was very difficult to tell. She asked, "Did you put razors in your apples?" I liked this new little shiver of danger, but I also couldn't afford to look like a psychopath. "No, you know about strangers, how it's probably an urban legend, but who hasn't? Where did you grow up that you never heard about strangers putting razors in apples?" "Some were different," she said. She held up a box of peanut M&Ms. I imagined her emptying the box into her mouth, then grabbing me by the hair and forcing the M&Ms into my mouth in a huge wet clot. She leaned in for only me to hear. "The universe is for us, but the odds are against us. We're all going to die, you know." The round lenses flashed as she handed me the box and turned away through the door, not once looking back. I hadn't noticed that we'd stopped, or that the car was now completely empty. The chime chimed, and the doors closed. I stood in the empty car, rattling the candy inside the box. The air blew cold on my face and neck, so I stepped away from the vents by the door and into the center of the car. I rattled the candy louder in the box, and then I opened the box and rattled the candy down onto the floor and seats and listened to it rolling and rattling all around the car until it came to a stop. The doors opened, and it was the end of the line. The 2 candy boys walked out of another car and were joined by 2 others like them, then 2 and another 2 more. Their crates were empty, and they had begun to assemble by an unmarked door at the far end of the platform. The trains exhaled from their brakes, distant announcements rang out and were ignored. The door swung open, and I followed them inside.